you're new here, hi, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here with me to talk about true crime. Now today we'll be talking about a story that still hasn't received justice, and that is the story of Kenneka Jenkins. Before I start, I do want to mention everything mentioned is a legend. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Also, trigger warning for things listed below. Before we talk about Kenneka's death, I wanted to talk a little bit about her because she's much more than that. Kenneka Jenkins was 19 years old, born May 27, 1998. She lived in Chicago, Illinois, and had 2 siblings. In her obituary states that she was a loving and caring person who opened her heart to all, and she had a heart of gold. Other than that, there wasn't really much about her. But now, let's get started to talk about the night. Kenneka went to a party that started at 11:30 p.m. on September 8, 2017 with a group of friends at the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in room 926. At the party, witnesses say she was already swaying back and forth as she was hugging people and that she was drinking cognac but didn't see her do any drugs. They also report that she didn't seem like herself and she would dance and then become sad. She was in the hall with a couple people, but after that, next we see Kenneka at 3:20 a.m. when she is stumbling. This is some of the last known footage of Kenneka, including the next video that is about to play. This video of Kenneka is reportedly at 3:25 a.m. when we first see her stumbling outside of the elevator. This is the final footage of Kenneka where we see her stumbling to the kitchen where the freezer is allegedly locked, but there is no footage of her actually going into the freezer. Now let's talk about the whodunit, starting with Crown Plaza. So why would the hotel do it, you may ask? It could be because of trafficking or some kind of market in place, and the fact that they refused to help her until the police were called. And even once she did call the police even told her to not worry about it and that Kenneka should be home soon instead of just immediately helping her. And the fact that they said the freezer was locked, but somehow, some way she did get in it, and that no one was really there to see her. It all feels kind of weird. This is all alleged, by the way. Now let's talk about the next whodunit, which is her friends. So it's rumored that there may have been some foul play involved, especially since their stories were never consistent when the mother asked about where Kenneka had been. They said they decided to leave the party at about 3 a.m. and that as they were coming down, Kenneka realized that she left her belongings, her car keys, and her cell phone in the hotel room. And that she went upstairs and that she didn't come back down, and they had went back up to go grab her belongings for her when she didn't come back down. But they didn't realize that they didn't know where she had went and that she was missing for about 10 to 20 minutes. And that they tried to look around but had no luck. And at between 4 and 4:30 a.m., they tried to call Kenneka's mother to let her know that they couldn't find her. Again, the rumor followed that Irene was one of the last few people to see Kenneka and that she was essentially the head honcho of everything, and that she also allegedly worked in a hotel, which is how they were able to get into the freezer, which is where Kenneka ended. But again, it's all alleged. And there's also on her live that she had posted that same night where it sounds like someone is saying help me, but then music is used to cover out the screams. The next friend who may have been involved is Monifa Shelton. She was Kenneka's best friend, and the rumor goes that she allegedly set her up for at least $200. But then again, there is another rumor saying that she had committed something due to the accusations and that she couldn't handle it. Here is a conversation between Irene and a few other people listing that Monifa was actually the last person to see Kenneka and not her, and that someone, again the rumor, that she set up Kenneka for at least $200. Even though we'll never really know if Kenneka's death was an accident, due to the fact on her autopsy report it did say she died of hypothermia, or if there were some strings pulled behind the scenes. The only sense of justice her family has received is a lawsuit to the Crown Plaza for negligence and allowing the kitchen to be open and the freezer to not be locked, and that everything was accessible, and the fact that they did not shut the party down even though there were noise complaints. Hopefully one day we will truly get the justice and answers that Kenneka and that we all deserve.